Hi everyone. In this video, I'll walk you through the Retailer Readiness node and show you how to create product imagery for different retail partners. If you've ever prepared assets for multiple retailers, you know that every retailer has its own requirements. The backgrounds, image sizes, file names, copy, and required views can all be slightly different. Retailer Readiness brings those requirements into one workflow, making it much faster to prepare product imagery for each retailer. Inside the boards, you'll find the Retailer Readiness node currently in beta under Tools. You'll start by connecting a node to your input image. From here, you can choose the retailer that you're preparing assets for and select the outputs you want to create. The setup will look slightly different depending on the retailer, but the overall workflow is simple. You can add multiple reference images, choose your output types, include a product description for Raspberry to rewrite, and decide whether you want the node to work only from your original image. Let's take a look at a few examples. I'll upload an on-model jacket image from my library to prepare it using Walmart's requirements. And then I'll pull out the Retailer Readiness node. I'll select Walmart as my retailer. I've connected my input image. I'll choose any settings. And then I can add an optional product description. And then I'll run the node. Once it's finished, the files are automatically named based on Walmart's expected naming structure. The node also creates an extended product description for me from my shorter one. I can click into each output to take a closer look. The images are created around the retailer's PDP requirements, but I still have control over the final results. If I don't like one of the images, I can regenerate that individual output without running the entire workflow again. Now let's switch to Amazon and use a purse as an example. I have this 2D sketch of a purse, which I've rendered photoreal. I'm going to pull out the Retailer Readiness node, and I'm going to connect the purse to the node. Amazon has a few different settings. For example, I can enter an ASIN, which will be included in the file names. This is really helpful when you need the assets to follow a specific naming structure before they move into the next part of your retailer workflow. I'll run the node and review the results. So you see that the output package is different from the Walmart example. The workflow automatically adjusts based on the retailer I selected, so I don't have to manually recreate each image and rename each file myself. For a final example, let's look at NuORDER. I have this gossamer blouse, and again, I'm going to drag and drop out the Retailer Readiness node. My product description is optional, and I'll choose NuORDER. NuORDER has fewer restrictions, so there's a little more flexibility in the setup. The node includes a group of suggested outputs. I can keep all of them or turn off any that I don't need. I can also choose between a light or a dark background. This is a good example of how retailer readiness can follow specific requirements when they're needed, while still giving you flexibility when the retailer allows it. Once I'm happy with the results, I can download everything as a zip file. The package includes the images in the expected sizes and formats for the retailer, along with a text file containing the product copy. And that's the Retailer Readiness node. Instead of manually creating, resizing, naming, and organizing every retailer asset, you can prepare the full package from one workflow. It's a much faster way to create consistent PDP imagery for different retailer partners while keeping control over the final result.